there's the bell. Soccer is in session for Wednesday, March 1st. I am your host, Jason Longshore, and we are here to get caught up on the latest in soccer in schools in the state of Georgia. The high school season is not quite midway through, but really starting to heat up all over the state. Some classifications have had a lot of jumps in the top 10. We'll get into all of that. We'll talk about college commitments, what's going on the college side of the game as well in the fall. Kind of flips back and forth. We talk a little bit more on the college side in the fall as their seasons go on. And we'll be still active during the summer as well. And the reason why we get to do this with soccer is in session is because of Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente, together we care, we advocate, we give, we thrive. Thank you to Kaiser Permanente for helping us cover soccer all over the state of Georgia at every single level. Let's get caught up on our recent SDH Games of the Week, again presented by Kaiser Permanente. Dominant performances was really the theme of these past two trips out to see some high school soccer around the state. I was up at Mill Creek High School last Friday night. It was chilly, it was very rainy, and it was a dominant performance from the Hawks of Mill Creek against Central Gwinnett. Girls won 10-0. The boys had to work for it a little bit more. Central Gwinnett was a little short-handed in that match. Had some kind of fluky goals in it because of the conditions. A free kick that was not intended to get past the goalkeeper from, I want to say the first one was about 30, 35 yards out. Kind of skipped, gets past the goalkeeper. That cut the lead to 2-1. Central Gwinnett feeling like maybe they're going to come back into this. And then Mill Creek one-upped it, and a shot from midfield. It was a free kick. I don't even want to say it was a shot. It was a free kick played into the 18 over the initial grouping of players around the top of the 18. It took a little bit of a funny bounce/skip. Gets past the freshman goalkeeper for Central Gwinnett and into the back of the net. That made it 3-1 Mill Creek. They did not look back the rest of the way. Last night, we were at Sequoia High School over in Canton, and it was kind of the same story for the Lassiter Trojans. This time it was the visiting team that was very dominant. They get wins on the boys and the girls' side. You're talking about the defending state champions in 6A on both the boys and the girls' side when it comes to the Lassiter Trojans, and they showed it last night at Sequoia. Had a chance to talk a lot afterwards on the Sequoia end after the boys' game, and it felt like and I said this late in the match, it felt like a measuring stick kind of game for Sequoia as they're about to get deep into region play. It's a team that I think can make some noise in the region, absolutely. It's a team that was ranked number 9 in the state coming into the week, and I think they're going to learn from this, and I think having this game where they did really benefits them the rest of the way. They get their region play started on Friday, and I think a game where, look, the result wasn't pretty, I think it's going to end up helping them a good bit. For Lassiter, this is a team on both the boys and the girls side that should be nailed down as a state title contender. They are that good. They are that well-rounded. I had the chance to call both of their state championship games last year. I feel like on the boys' side, they might be even better this year. This is a really good Trojans team and a really well-balanced team. You don't have the stars that we see in some teams that dominate the play, and if they're having a bad day, everything suffers. I don't see Lassiter like that. They're well-rounded. The bench was good. It just feels like a true team performance. I love the way that they move the ball and the speed with which they move the ball in possession. Really impressed with Lassiter last night. They get 2 wins. Mill Creek got 2 wins on Friday. Let's see what everybody else did over the last week as we bounce through the classifications. And scoreboard.com is where you can get your coaches' rankings. Every week, every Monday, they are being updated. Looks like for the rest of the season. We did see some movement in all classifications this week, and based off some results, we're going to see maybe more movement next week. Let's start with 7A girls. Buford, Huge game last night against Mill Creek, who had fallen to number 7. I was really surprised that they actually fell in the rankings after their win on Friday night. Buford 7-1 on the year now with a 2-1 win on Tuesday over Mill Creek. Shea Owings had the game-winning goal, the second for the Wolves on the night. They won their region opener on Friday 4-1 at Mountain View. Number 1 in the state, the Buford Wolves. Friday, they will be at home against Central Gwinnett. Number 2, the Denmark Danes. 6-0 win in the region opener versus Lambert on Friday, but then they ran into the buzzsaw that is Chambly. 5A, number 1 ranked Chambly. We're going to get to them in a bit. They had a murderer's row of a schedule in their last 3 games. All state-ranked teams, all top state-ranked teams around the state, and Chambly laid waste to everybody. A 5-0 win Tuesday night at home for Chambly against Denmark, who's ranked number 2 in 7A. Chambly's, of course, number 1 in 5A, and they have shown it. Denmark will try to bounce back Friday at West Forsyth. Number 3 in 7A, Norcross, the Blue Devils, 10-0 winners versus Discovery in the region opener on Friday night. 3-1 win Tuesday at 5A, number 9, Northview. Alexa Foster, Gianna Vescovo, and Cameron Martin had the Blue Devils goals. Friday, Norcross is at Berkmar. Number 4, Walton Raiders, 3-2 loss on Friday night at Blessed Trinity. We're going to get into the Titans as we go today as well. 7-0 win last night for Walton versus Stars Mill. Friday, they host Cherokee. Number 5, the Brookwood Broncos coming into the week. 10-0 winners versus Newton on Friday night. A 1-0 loss Tuesday at home to number 6, Archer. Brookwood will try to bounce back Friday versus South Gwinnett, but let's get into Archer. They're ranked number 6 coming into the week. Perfect 8-0 now after back-to-back clean sheets on the road against top-ranked teams. 2-0 win Friday at Parkview, who was ranked number 7 going into that one. 1-0 win last night versus number 5 Brookwood, who moved up in the rankings this week. Archer tries to go to 9-0 Friday night at Newton. Mill Creek, we talked about 5-1-1 on the year now. 10-0 winners versus Central Gwinnett on Friday. That was the region opener. That was our SDH game of the week presented by Kaiser Permanente. 2-1 loss last night at number 1 Buford. That was the first loss of the season for the Hawks. Friday, they are back in action at home hosting Decula. Number 8 and 7A girls, Forsyth Central, the Bulldogs, 9-0 winners Friday at South Forsyth. Have not seen a result as of yet. Tuesday at Etowah, and it's one of the few results that is not available as of press time here at Soccer is in Session. Forsyth Central will be back in action Friday hosting Milton. The Harrison Hoyas, number 9 in the state in 7A girls, 5-1 win versus Dunwoody on Friday. They're back on the pitch next Friday at North Paulding. Hillgrove rounds out the top 10. The Hawks 1-0 winners on Tuesday in a Region 3 showdown as they hosted North Paulding. North Paulding has had a really difficult schedule as of late. Mentioned Parkview, they fell out of the top 10 last week. 2-0 loss versus Archer Friday night. They bounced back with a penalty shootout win Tuesday at South Gwinnett. 2-2 final after overtime. The shootout went to 6-5 in favor of Parkview. Panthers goalkeeper Sarah Cook made the game-winning save. Parkview will be back in action Friday at Grayson. North Paulding, with that loss at Hillgrove, they have fallen out of the state top 10. Friday, they will be back at home against Harrison, who is ranked number 9 right now in the state. One other team to watch in 7A girls, Meadow Creek, the Mustangs, 3-0 win at 2A number 8 Providence Christian Tuesday night. In that game, according to reports, 23 saves from goalkeeper Caroline Beckner of the Mustangs. Friday, Meadow Creek will be at Duluth. Keep an eye on the Mustangs in 7A girls. Let's move over to the boys' side of things. Collins Hill goes to 9-0, 6 straight clean sheets. They've only allowed 1 goal all season, 27 goals scored. They're not winning with a lot of fireworks, but this defense is incredible. 1-0 win Friday night versus Tequila, 2-0 win Tuesday at Central Gwinnett. The goals on Tuesday night came from MJ Canlas and Noah Goodman. Friday, huge game for the Eagles of Collins Hill as they are on the road at Mountain View, who's ranked number 4 in the state this week. Number 2 is South Forsyth, also 9-0 now. 2-1 win in the region opener on Friday versus Forsyth Central. 3-1 win Tuesday at number 3 Peachtree Ridge, one of the games of the week. Big win for the War Eagles. Friday, South Forsyth, they will be at home against number 6 Lambert. Peachtree Ridge came into the week number 3 in the state. 2-0 winners on Friday at North Gwinnett, who was ranked number 9. 3-1 loss versus South Forsyth, who was ranked number 2. That was last night. Next Tuesday, Peachtree Ridge is back in action, and they will be at number 7 Meadow Creek. The ranked opponents do not come to an end for Peachtree Ridge. Mountain View, perfect 8-0 on the year. 3-2 win versus Buford on Friday in the region opener. They needed penalties to get past Tequila on the road on Tuesday, 1-1 after overtime. Friday, they will be hosting number 1 Collins Hill. Denmark climbs all the way up to the number 5 spot in the top 10 this week. 7-0-1 on the year. They needed penalties to beat Lambert Friday night in the region opener, finished 1-1 after overtime. 3-0 win on Tuesday at Chambly for Denmark. Goals in that one came from Ivan Kabi, Sam Del Cid, and Nico Solorzano. Friday, Denmark at West Forsyth. Number 6, already mentioned the Lambert Longhorns. They lost Friday night in the region opener at Denmark after that 1-1 finish. They bounced back with a 3-2 win Tuesday at home against Dunwoody. Friday night, they're at number 2, South Forsyth. Number 7, another new team in the top 10, Meadow Creek. They won on penalties Friday versus Berkmar, who ended last week ranked number 6 in the state in 7A boys. That game finished 3-3 after overtime. Meadow Creek, though, they get into the rankings on Monday. They lost Tuesday night at number 2 in 2A, Providence Christian Academy. Friday night, Meadow Creek will be at Duluth. Walton, number 8 in 7A boys. 3-1 loss on the road at perfect 6-0 Blessed Trinity on Friday night. Saturday, Walton bounced back. They love the Saturday games, the Raiders. Saturday, a 3-0 win versus Marietta. Tuesday night, a 5-0 win versus Stars Mill. Friday, they will be at home as they host Cherokee. Hillgrove ranked number 9 in 7A boys. 4-2 winners on Tuesday night versus North Paulding. That was their Region 3 opener. Friday, Hillgrove will be at Marietta. And another newcomer into the top 10 this week, Milton. Although it might be a short stay, after getting ranked on Monday, Milton lost Tuesday 1-0 at Sprayberry. Friday, Milton will be at Forsyth Central. Mentioned Berkmar falling out of the rankings. They lost in penalties on the region opener on Friday at Meadow Creek. They followed that up with a 2-0 loss Tuesday at Lakeside DeKalb, the third straight loss for the Patriots of Berkmar. They'll try to bounce back Friday at home against Norcross. North Gwinnett also fell out of the rankings. Back-to-back losses. The latest is a 2-0 loss to number 4 Peachtree Ridge in the Region 7 opener on Friday. North Gwinnett will be back in action on Friday this week at Discovery. North Paulding, another one to keep an eye on, although they've had back-to-back losses as well. 3-0 loss Friday night at Kennesaw Mountain. 4-2 loss Tuesday at number 8 Hillgrove. Campbell, who we will see next Tuesday in the SDH Boys Game of the Week versus Osborne, they got a 4-1 win at 5A number 10 Mays on Tuesday. Friday night, the Spartans of Campbell will be at Dunwoody. Mill Creek, another team to keep an eye on, this time on the boys' side in 7A. They won 5-1 over Central Gwinnett in the SDH Game of the Week on Friday. They also won 5-1 Tuesday at Buford. 5 different goal scorers in that one. Perfect 2-0 in the region, and that's important for Mill Creek because they missed out on the state playoffs due to region result tiebreakers in the past 2 years. Mill Creek will try to keep the good times rolling Friday at home against Tequila. 6A girls, Lassiter, already mentioned them, 6-0 winners at Sequoia on Tuesday night in our SDH game of the week. Next Tuesday, Lassiter will be on the road at Wheeler. Number 2 in 6A, Marist. The War Eagles have not lost this year, although they did draw scoreless against Cambridge on Thursday of last week. Tonight, Marist will be hosting 5A ranked Midtown. Big games at Marist tonight. Number 3, Pope, the Greyhounds, 7-0 win on the girls' side at Riverwood on Friday. This Friday, they will be hosting Johns Creek. Blessed Trinity, number 4 in 6A girls, 3 straight wins, 3-2 over 7A, number 2 Walton on Friday night. They followed that up last night with a 4-0 win at River Ridge. This Friday, they will be at Alpharetta. Number 5 in 6A girls, St. Pius, 4-1 loss to Chambly on Friday night, part of that Murderer's Row, part of that laying waste by Chambly. St. Pius bounced back with a 7-0 win on Tuesday versus Riverwood. This Friday, St. Pius will be at South Cobb. Number 6, Roswell, the Hornets, 3-1 winners at home against River Ridge on Friday. They'll be back in action this Friday at Sprayberry. Number 7, the Alexander Cougars, perfect 8-0 on the year. 1-0 win going back to last week at 3A number 10 Wesleyan. A 10-0 win last night versus Langston Hughes. Big test for Alexander as they face the team ranked number 8 on Friday. Alexander will be hosting the Noonan Cougars. The Cougars, 10-1 win versus New Manchester last Wednesday. They come into this game on Friday, though, after losing 1-0 to unbeaten 5A number 6 Harris County. That was last Friday night. This Friday, Noonan at Alexander, 7 versus 8 in 6A girls. Really interesting game in that one. Newcomer to the top 10 in 6A girls, Allatoona, the Buccaneers, 2-1 win at Kennesaw Mountain Tuesday night. Reese Denson scored both goals for the Bucks. Friday, business picks up for Allatoona. They will be hosting 4A number 6 Heritage Ringgold. And number 10 on the girls' side, Lakeside, the Vikings, they will be in action on Friday at Riverwood in our SDH game of the week. They lost as part of that Murderer's Row to Chambly. That was Saturday night at North DeKalb Stadium. They bounced back with a 3-1 win on Tuesday versus Berkmar. Other teams in 6A to keep an eye on the girls' side, Habersham Central, some wild results for Habersham Central. 2-1 overtime loss to Jackson County on Friday night. That's what knocked them out of the state rankings. They followed that up with a 6-5 win on Tuesday at home against Shiloh. Whew. For this Friday, they will be at Gainesville. Woodstock is another team to watch in 6A girls. 5-2-1 on the year, although Tuesday they lost at North Cobb 2-1. They'll be back in action tomorrow night at home against Creekview. Jackson County is another one to keep an eye on in 6A girls. 6-3 on the year, 2-1 overtime win at Habersham Central on Friday. Followed that up with a 10-0 win Tuesday versus Appalachia. This Friday, Jackson County will host Banks County. Let's move over to the boys' side in 6A. Let's start with Johns Creek. 8-0-1, the Gladiators, 7-0 winners Friday night at home against 5A ranked Midtown. 2-0 win Tuesday at home against Alpharetta. The Gladiators have only conceded 3 goals all year on the boys' side. Friday, they will be at Pope. Number 2 in 6A, Blessed Trinity, the Titans, 7-1 on the year. 3-1 win at home against Walton, who was ranked number 7 in 7A. That was Friday night. But a 1-0 overtime loss on Tuesday at River Ridge. First loss of the season for Blessed Trinity. This Friday, they will be at Alpharetta. The Lassiter Trojans, number 3 this week in 6A. 6-1 on the year. 6-0 win last night in the SDH game of the week at Sequoia. 2 goals in that one from Emmy Gonzalez. Next Tuesday, the Trojans will be at Wheeler. Riverwood, number 4 in 6A boys, 7-1 this year. The only loss was in the opener to Lassiter. They had a 3-0 win at home against number 10 Pope on Friday night, a 2-1 win Tuesday night at St. Pius. Both goals in that win from Damian Sosa. Friday, Riverwood hosting Lakeside, SDH Games of the Week. Number 5 in 6A, Gainesville, the Red Elephants, 7-2 on the year, 4-2 winners on Friday at home against Cherokee Bluff, but a 2-0 loss Tuesday at number 6 Lanier. Friday, Gainesville will be hosting Habersham Central. Lanier, number 6, 3-1 win Friday at North Forsyth in region play, 2-0 win Tuesday at home against Gainesville, who is ranked right ahead of them. That'll probably change next week. Friday, Lanier will be at Shiloh. Number 7, the Warhawks of Veterans High School. 6-0 win versus Tift County last Thursday. This Friday, they will be at home against Thomas County Central. Sprayberry, the Yellow Jackets, number 8 in 6A boys. 5 straight wins after starting the season with a loss against one of the top teams in 4A, Southeast Whitfield, on the road. 1-0 win Tuesday versus Milton from 7A. They were ranked number 10 this week. Luis Vielma scored the only goal of the match. Sprayberry, Friday, hosting Roswell. Sequoia, 3-game winning streak, broken in that loss last night to Lassiter in the SDH Game of the Week. The Chiefs will start region play Friday, hosting Rome. And number 10 this week, the Glen Academy Terrors. No losses on the year, no draws. 2-0 win Friday at Benedictine. 3-1 win Tuesday at Brunswick. The Terrors on this Friday will be at Grovetown. Mentioned Pope, they fell out of the state rankings after the loss at Riverwood on Friday night. This Friday, they will be hosting number 1 Johns Creek. Rockdale County is a team to keep an eye on in 6A boys. 4-0 winners at Jonesboro on Monday. Big game tonight in Rockdale County as the Bulldogs will host Heritage. That is a big, big rivalry on the south side of town. Appalachia, the Wildcats, 6-2-1 this year. They are a team to watch in 6A boys. 2-1 win at Shiloh on Friday, but Jackson County hosted them Tuesday night, and a 3-1 loss for the Wildcats in overtime. 2 goals in overtime. Appalachia falls to Jackson County. They'll bounce back on Friday as they host North Forsyth. One more to keep an eye on in 6A boys. South Effingham, the Mustangs, 1-0 win at Evans on Friday. 1-0 win Tuesday versus Effingham County. This Friday they will be at Lakeside Evans, and the Mustangs have not lost in 2023. 6 wins and 1 draw on the docket. All right, let's move to 5A, and they've come up multiple times already. The Chambly Bulldogs, 8-0-1 on the year. This is what the Bulldogs have been up to since we last spoke. Friday night, 4-1 win at 6A, number 4, St. Pius. Saturday, 6-1 win versus 6A, number 7, Lakeside. These are the rankings at the time. Tuesday, 5-0 win versus 7A, number 3, Denmark. Possibly the best week in modern times in GHSA girls high school soccer. I mean, show me another week where you beat 3 top 10 ranked opponents from what's supposed to be bigger classifications. Good grief, Chambly. Wednesday, they're still in action. They're back tonight. They're hosting Woodward Academy, and then next Tuesday they will host Cross Keys. Chambly might not lose this season. Number 2 in 5A girls, Midtown. The Knights, perfect 7-0-0 on the year. 2-1 win at Johns Creek on Friday night. Tonight they will be at 6A, number 2, Marist. Number 2 5A versus number 2 6A tonight at Marist. Loganville, the Red Devils, ranked number 3. 1-1 draw last night at 3A, number 3 Oconee County for the Red Devils. Only blemish on their record now, 7-0-1 this season. Number 4, the Harris County Tigers. I am almost certain this is accurate. They are the first team to 10 wins in the state of Georgia in 2023. The Tigers 1-0 win at Noonan on Friday night, 7-0 win at Rome on Saturday, 2-0 win Tuesday at home against Brookstone. This Friday they are at North Springs, and then go ahead and buckle up. Next Wednesday, Harris County will be hosting Northside Columbus. Harris County 5A is stacked, like 10-0, and they're ranked number 4. They might jump Loganville next week since Loganville had a draw. Northside Columbus hasn't lost either. They might move up in the rankings a little bit. So that game next Wednesday at Harris County, Tigers hosting the Patriots, Northside Columbus. There is a team between them in the current rankings, though. It's the Chiefs of McIntosh. 3-1 win at Woodward on Friday. This Friday, McIntosh will host Columbus. Mentioned Northside Columbus. They're ranked number 6 this week, 8-0-1. 2-0 win at home versus Columbus on Friday night. 10-0 win Monday of this week at home against Central of Phoenix City. Tonight, Northside Columbus will be hosting Russell County. Number 7, Cambridge. Scoreless draw at Marist on Thursday. 4-1 win versus Alpharetta on Friday. The Bears this Friday will be at Northview. Greater Atlanta Christian ranked number 8 in 5A girls. 5-1 win versus Wesleyan on Friday night. 3-1 win Tuesday at Centennial. Reese Black had a goal and an assist in that one. Leah Boubian had 1 goal, and Margot Pritchard had 1 goal for the Spartans. Izzy Rickaby, the goalkeeper, had 4 saves in that one. This Thursday, Greater Atlanta Christian at 4A, number 2 ranked Westminster. Number 9, Northview, the Titans, 3-1 loss versus 7A, number 3, Norcross on Tuesday night. Jefferson, ranked number 10 in 5A girls. 1-0 win versus who was then ranked number 10 last Friday. That was against Flowery Branch. They have flipped in the table this week. Jefferson ranked number 10. Flowery Branch fell out of the rankings. This Friday, Jefferson will host 4A. Number 1, North Oconee. That will be a game to see on Friday night. Flowery Branch, after that loss against Jefferson on Friday night, they bounced back with a 1-0 win on Tuesday at 3A number 5 White County. That's a big bounce back for Flowery Branch. This Friday, the Falcons will host Heritage of Conyers. A couple other teams in 5A girls to keep an eye on. Warner Robins, the Demons, have not lost this season. 8 wins, 1 draw. 4-1 win Friday at Baldwin. 3-0 win Monday at Georgia Military College, who is ranked number 6 in 1A Division II. This Friday, Warner Robins will host Sumter County. Clark Central, back-to-back wins for the Gladiators. They will be back in action next Friday at Eastside. Dutchtown, the Bulldogs, perfect 7-0-0 in 2023. 9-0 win versus Hampton on Thursday. A 3-2 win last night at Strong Rock Christian. This Friday, Dutchtown will host Union Grove. One more in 5A girls, Dalton, the Catamounts. 2-0 winners at Calhoun on Friday. Tonight, they will be at Northwest Whitfield, and then Friday, they will host Cass. Let's get into it on the boys' side in 5A. McIntosh, your new number 1, 9-0 on the year. 4-0 win at Woodward on Friday night. 3-1 win Tuesday versus Druid Hills. Huge game in Peachtree City on Friday night. 9-0-0 McIntosh, number 1 in 5A, versus 9-0-0 Columbus, number 1 in 3A. That will be at McIntosh on Friday night. Number 2 in 5A boys, the Dalton Catamounts, 8-1. That 1 is to McIntosh. The Catamounts 7-0 win at Calhoun on Friday night in region play. Tonight, Dalton at Northwest Whitfield. I know we talk a lot about Dalton and Southeast, and Southeast versus Northwest. Dalton versus Northwest is a big rivalry game as well. That is tonight, Northwest Whitfield, the Bruins hosting it. Number 3 in 5A boys, Clark Central, 8-2 on the year. 1-0 win versus Heritage of Conyers on Friday night. This Friday, the Gladiators will be at Eastside. Number 4, Chapel Hill. The Panthers, 6-0-0 on the year. They've had a little bit of time off. They are at Hiram on Wednesday night, tonight. Tucker, 6-2-2, ranked number 5 in 5A boys. 3-1 win versus Duluth on Friday night. 10-0 win Tuesday versus Arabia Mountain. That was at Halford Stadium. Next Friday, Tucker at Chambly. Midtown, fall to number 6 in the 5A boys. 7-0 loss at Johns Creek, number 1 in 6A. That was Friday night. Tonight, Midtown at Marist. Number 7 in 5A boys, Villa Rica. They are at Trinity Christian tonight. Villa Rica, 6-1-1 coming into it. Number 8, Kell, the Longhorns. This Wednesday, tonight, they are at Wheeler. Friday, they are hosting Chattahoochee, who has just fallen out of the state rankings. Number 9, Mays, the Raiders. They lost last night 4-1 at home against 7A Campbell. This Friday, Mays will be hosting Creekside. And number 10, new to the top 10, the Centennial Knights. 2-0 win on Tuesday versus Greater Atlanta Christian. Monday next week, Centennial will be at Kennesaw Mountain. Let's move over to 4A girls. Holy Innocents, number 1 in the state coming into the week. But. They lost yesterday at 2A number 3 Fellowship Christian. Holy Innocents back in action tonight, hosting Miller Grove. 6-1-1 for Holy Innocents. We'll see if that loss knocks them out of the top spot. Westminster is number 2. 12-0 win versus Clarkston on Friday. 5-0 win Tuesday at West Forsyth. Westminster hosting Greater Atlanta Christian, number 8 in 5A. That's tomorrow night. North Oconee, 6-0-1 on the year. The Titans, 3-0 win at North Hall on Friday. Don't have the result from their match yesterday as they hosted Walnut Grove. Number 4, Cherokee Bluff, the Bears, 10-0 win at Gainesville on Friday night. 8-1 win Tuesday versus East Forsyth. Cherokee Bluff will host Walnut Grove on Friday. Number 5, Perry Panthers, 9-0-0. 10-0 win versus Baldwin on Monday. The Panthers Friday will be at Spalding High School in Griffin. Perry has only conceded 1 goal in 9 games, and they have scored 49 goals this season. Keep an eye on Perry. Number 5 in 4A girls. I don't know if they're getting the respect they necessarily deserve. Number 6, Heritage Ringgold, the Generals. 1-1 draw on Friday versus Kennesaw Mountain. Followed up with a 10-0 win Tuesday versus Woodland of Cartersville. This Friday, Heritage Ringgold at Allatoona. Number 7 in 4A girls, the Raiders of Southeast Whitfield. 3-0 win versus state-ranked Coahulla Creek on Friday. They'll go into the River City Shootout next weekend, and they'll start things off facing Florence on Friday night, this upcoming weekend, sorry. Number 8, Whitewater, the Wildcats, 12-0 win versus North Clayton on Monday. This Friday, Whitewater at number 9, Stars Mill. The Panthers, right behind the Wildcats in the state rankings. They are coming off of a very difficult Tuesday night where they lost 7-0 at 7A number 2, Walton. Number 10, we'll stay in Fayette County. The Tigers of Fayette County. 1-1 draw at Union Grove on Tuesday. A little bit of a surprise there. Friday, the Tigers will host Trinity Christian. Other teams to keep an eye on in 4A girls. The Mount Zion Bulldogs. 6-1 now. They were 6-0 going into their region opener yesterday against Lovett. That did not go well for the Bulldogs. A 10-0 loss in that one. They'll try to bounce back tonight as they host Pace Academy. And Madison County, the Red Raiders, 6-2 on the year. 4-2 loss at Johnson Gainesville, a team that I think is really starting to gather some momentum on the girls' side. That was Friday night. Madison County bounced back with a 7-1 win Tuesday at home against Stevens County. Friday, Madison County will be hosting Seconder. 4A boys, maybe one of the most competitive divisions in the state. Number 1, Johnson Gainesville, the Knights, defending state champions. They haven't lost in 2023. 7-0 win at home against Madison County on the boys' side Friday night. 3-0 win Tuesday at Seconder. Next Tuesday, Johnson at Cedar Shoals. Number 2 in 4A boys, Westminster, 1-0 win versus number 9 Clarkston on Friday night. That was a huge region match. This week, tomorrow, hosting Greater Atlanta Christian. Number 3 in 4A boys, Southeast Whitfield. 1-1 draw with Coahulla Creek on Friday night. 2-0 win on Monday at Creekview. Next Tuesday, an interesting game, Southeast Whitfield at Cedartown. Number 4, Whitewater. 7-0-1 on the year. 10-0 win versus North Clayton on Monday. Friday, Whitewater will be at Stars Mill. And then next Tuesday, as we look ahead, Whitewater will be at 5A number 1 McIntosh. Number 5, Druid Hills, the Red Devils. They have had a wild ride as of late. They lost in penalties to 3A number 3 Oconee County Friday night. That finished 3-3 after overtime. Druid Hills went to Peachtree City and lost to 5A number 1 McIntosh 3-1 last night. Tomorrow, Druid Hills will be at 1A Division I number 3 Atlanta International. Number 6, even after the loss at Westminster on Friday night, Clarkston moved up from 9 to 6 in the rankings. It's not going to be the case next week. They lost 3-0 last night at Osborne. Next Tuesday, the Angoras will be back in action as they host Stone Mountain. Number 7, new to the top 10, North Oconee on the boys' side. 2-1 win Friday at North Hall. 1-0 win Tuesday versus Walnut Grove. Will French had the winning goal. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. Look up North Oconee soccer account. Great goal. Really difficult angle for French to knock that one home. Friday, North Oconee will be at Jefferson. Number 8 in 4A boys, East Hall, 6-2 on the year. 3-1 win versus Seconder on Friday. 1-0 overtime win on Tuesday versus Cedar Shoals. Jonathan Torres drew a foul in the box in the second overtime, and Yerli Mejia converted the penalty. Next Tuesday, the Vikings of East Hall will be at Winder Barrow. Number 9, the Islands Sharks, 6-2 on the year. 11-1 win at New Hampstead on Thursday. 2-1 win Tuesday versus Savannah Country Day. Caleb Swenson scored the winner midway through the second half. It was a free kick from 25 yards out. Swenson hit it with his left foot, a golazo. Friday, Islands at 2A, number 5, Savannah Arts Academy. Number 10 on the boys' side in 4A, Perry, 7-1-1 on the year. 8-0 win against Baldwin on Monday. Friday, they will be at Spalding. Couple more teams to keep an eye on in 4A on the boys' side. Stars Mill, 4-2 on the year. They lost at Walton on Tuesday night. Friday, they will host Whitewater, who's ranked number 4. Cedartown, 2-0 loss versus Calhoun in Rome on Saturday at the big showcase. Scoreless draw at 1A Division II ranked Christian Heritage on Tuesday for Cedartown. Next Tuesday, they will host number 3 Southeast Whitfield. Chestatee, the War Eagles, 6-2 on the year. 3-2 win at Cedar Shoals on Friday. Tonight, Chestatee will host North Hall. Friday, they will host Riverside Military Academy. Bainbridge is another team to watch in 4A on the boys' side. They have not lost this season. 6-0 win at Valwood on Thursday. Scoreless draw Tuesday at Deerfield Windsor. Tonight, they will host Valwood, and then Friday, they will be at Shaw. Speaking of Shaw, the Raiders, 7-1 on the year. 4-1 win at Upson Lee on Friday. 3-1 win Tuesday at Hardaway. And then Friday, the showdown with Bainbridge. Spalding, the Jaguars, they will be hosting Perry, who's ranked number 10 on Friday. They won in penalties Tuesday night at West Lawrence. Another 3-3 finish after overtime. A lot of goals being scored in Georgia high school soccer this season. Spalding hosting Perry. Spalding 7-1 on the year. That's another interesting game coming up on Friday night. Let's go to 3A. Girls, Lumpkin County, number 1. They were ranked number 1 on Monday. New to that spot. Tuesday, a 1-1 draw at North Forsyth. See what the rankings look like next week. This was the group, 3A girls, that maybe has the most potential movement for next week. Friday, Lumpkin County will be hosting number 4, Dawson County. Maybe you win that, you redeem yourself. We'll see. Morgan County, number 2. They have not lost or drawn this season. The Bulldogs, 4-1 win versus Harlem on Tuesday. Tomorrow, Morgan County will host the Academy of Richmond County. Number 3, Oconee County, 5-1-1 on the year. 6-0 win at Walnut Grove. on the 22nd of February. 4-1 win at Druid Hills on Friday. 1-1 draw Tuesday, but that was against 5A number 3 unbeaten Loganville. Number 4, Dawson County. Big showdown coming up on Friday at Lumpkin County, who's ranked number 1. Dawson County, 1-1 draw last week at Union County. 8-0 win versus Gordon Central on Friday. 9-1 win on Tuesday versus Lakeview Academy. White County, the Warriors, 7-3, ranked number 5 in 3A girls. 3-0 win at Union County on Friday night. That was followed up with a 1-0 loss to Flowery Branch on Tuesday. Hazen Ramey is a senior forward at White County. She was named one of the players of the week in Northeast Georgia by Blitz Georgia. She became the school's all-time assist leader recently. The Warriors are next in action on Monday as they host Banks County. Number 6 in 3A girls, Coahulla Creek, the Colts, 7-3 this year. 10-0 win at Christian Heritage on Thursday. 3-0 loss at Southeast Whitfield on Friday, ranked number 7 in 4A. 10-0 win at the Dalton Academy yesterday. Thursday at Ridgeland for Coahulla Creek. Number 7, Wesleyan, another one that had results go against them after getting ranked here. 1-0 loss. It was at home, but it was also to 6A number 5, Alexander. That was last Wednesday. 5-1 loss at Greater Atlanta Christian on Friday. That's a little more troubling. 2-1 win on Tuesday versus Pinecrest Academy, so they bounced back. Katie Triplett scored the winner with a minute left from the top of the 18. Friday, Wesleyan will host Gilmer County. Number 8, Adairsville, 6-3 on the year. 5-3 win at Lafayette on Friday night. 1-0 loss Tuesday at Pickens County. Friday, they are at Temple. Lots of losses and draws in 3A girls. Number 9, Bremen, the Blue Devils. They fell victim to this too. 3-0 loss at home versus 4A number 1 Holy Innocents. That was last Wednesday. 3-1 win for Bremen versus LaGrange on Friday. Then a 3-1 loss on Tuesday at home against East Coweta. Friday, Blue Devils will be hosting Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe. Number 10, Hebron Christian Academy, the Lions, 2-1 win on Tuesday over George Walton. Both goals were scored by Kiara Oliver. They are back in action on Friday at Calvary Day. 3A girls. The rankings are going to look very different next week. I don't know how they're going to fall because there's a lot of games on Friday and honestly the rest of this week that could impact it. But lots of potential rankings changing results in 3A girls. 3A boys, I already mentioned Columbus, 9-0 on the year. They are this Friday at 5A number 1 McIntosh. Columbus 10-0 win versus Doherty last Wednesday. 10-0 win Friday versus Northside Columbus. 2-1 win Monday at LaGrange. Number 2 in 3A boys, Bremen. 1-0 win versus Holy Innocents last Wednesday, but a 3-1 loss versus East Coweta last night. Friday, Bremen hosting Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe. Number 3, Savannah Christian. No losses, no draws on the year. 4-1 win at Hilton Head Prep yesterday. Thursday, Savannah Christian will host Jenkins. Coahulla Creek, number 4 in 3A boys, 6-1-3 on the year. They won 1-0 at 1A Division II, number 2, Christian Heritage last week. 1-1 draw at Southeast Whitfield on Friday. Saul Barcenas scored the goal in that one. 2-0 win Tuesday at the Dalton Academy, who is ranked in 1A. Thursday, Coahulla Creek will be at Ridgeland. Number 5 in 3A boys, Oconee County. 1-0 win at Walnut Grove. They won in penalties at 4A number 4 Druid Hills after the 3-3 overtime finish. And then the Warriors 1-0 win versus Loganville on Tuesday. Freshman goalkeeper Jalen Achi had the clean sheet in that one. Charlie Burke scored the winning goal for Oconee County. Friday, the Warriors at Monroe area. Number 6, new to the top 10, the Jackson Red Devils. 4-0 win at Mary Persons on Friday, but a 3-2 loss Tuesday versus Eastside. Friday, the Red Devils will try to bounce back as they host Peach County. Another new one in the top 10, number 7, Savannah Country Day. 4-1 on the year, 2-1 loss at 3A number 9 Islands on Tuesday. 4A, number 9, Islands. Number 8, Hebron Christian on the boys' side, 3-1 win at the Walker School on Friday. They are at Calvary Day on this Friday, March 3rd. Number 9, Wesleyan, ranked for the first time in the top 10. 5-1 win versus Pinecrest Academy last week. This Friday, they are hosting Gilmer County. And number 10, the Harlem Bulldogs, number 10 in 3A boys. 3-0 loss at GMC last Friday. GMC was ranked 1A Division II, number 3 coming into that one. 2-1 overtime win on Tuesday. That was at previously ranked Morgan County. It's been a wild ride for Harlem lately. Other teams to keep an eye on in 3A boys. Lumpkin County, 4-3 on the year, 2-0 loss at North Forsyth on Tuesday. This Friday, they're hosting Dawson County. Pike County, 2-2 draw versus Trinity Christian in Rome on Saturday. Followed that up with a 2-0 win at home versus Peach County yesterday. Tonight, Pike County hosting Troup County. And then Morgan County, I mentioned, they were ranked last week. 2-1 overtime loss to now number 10 Harlem in a region match on Tuesday. Morgan County back at it tomorrow as they host Richmond Academy. Let's get into 2A girls next. Fitzgerald, number 1, the Purple Hurricane, maybe my favorite nickname in GHSA play. 7-1-1 on the year, 10-0 winners at Berrien County on Friday. 9-1 win Tuesday at home against Dodge County. This Friday, they will host number 7, or they'll be on the road at number 7, Worth County. Number 2, 2A girls, Callaway, 7 straight wins. 3-0 win versus Central Carroll last week. 7-0 win versus New Manchester on Friday. Tonight, the Cavaliers are at Towers at Adams Stadium. It's the first region match of the year. Number 3, 2A girls, Fellowship Christian. 12-2 win versus Mount Perrin Christian on Thursday. 4-1 win versus 4A number 1 Holy Innocents yesterday. Huge win for Fellowship Christian. This Friday, they are at East Jackson. Model, the Blue Devils, have not lost, have not drawn. 10-0 win at Haralson County last Wednesday. 10-0 win yesterday versus Gordon Central. Tonight, they are at Temple. Friday, they are hosting Fannin County. New to the 2A girls rankings, number 5, the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets, 6-3 on the year. 2-0 win for Jeff Davis at home versus West Lawrence last Thursday. 10-0 win yesterday at Sumter County. Friday, they will be hosting Cook High School. Number 6 in 2A girls, Athens Academy. Scoreless draw at Pinecrest Academy on Friday. 10-0 win Tuesday at home against Banks County. Thursday, Athens Academy hosting Union County. Number 7, Worth County, the Rams. They will be hosting number 1 Fitzgerald on Friday, but they come into that losing in penalties Tuesday at Cook. It was a 2-2 overtime finish. Worth County lost the penalty shootout. Number 8, new to the top 10, Providence Christian Academy, the Storm. They get into the top 10, but then they lost 3-0 at home to Meadow Creek on Tuesday. Friday, they will host Bethlehem Christian Academy. Number 9, 2A girls, Toombs County, the Bulldogs, 4-3-1 on the year, 7-0 win at Brantley County on Friday, 6-3 loss Tuesday at home to Savannah Arts Academy. Friday, big rivalry match at Vidalia for Toombs County. And number 10, 2A girls, the Academy for Classical Education, 1-0 win at home versus Tatnall Square Academy on Thursday. 3-1 loss Tuesday versus Mount DeSales Academy. Friday, the Griffins will be hosting Mary Persons. 2A boys, Landmark Christian, number 1. 3-1 win at Creekside yesterday. This Friday, Landmark Christian will be hosting the Elite Scholars Academy. Number 2 in 2A boys, Providence Christian, 2-0 win versus St. Anne Pacelli on Friday. 2-1 win Tuesday versus 7A number 7 Meadow Creek. One of the most impressive wins for some of the smaller classification teams in the last week. Tuesday, next week, Providence Christian will be at Fellowship Christian. Number 3, 2A boys, brand new to the top 10. They jump all the way to 3. North Murray, the Mountaineers. tonight hosting Murray County, Friday hosting the Dalton Academy. Number 4, also new to the top 10, the Panthers of Union County. 6-1 win versus White County on Friday. Tomorrow, Union County will be at Athens Academy. Number 5 in 2A boys, Savannah Arts Academy. 3-1 win versus Tatnall County on Friday night. 2-1 double overtime win on Tuesday at Toombs. Thursday, Savannah Arts Academy hosting Appling County. And then Friday, they are hosting 4A number 9 Islands. Number 6, also new to the top 10. 2A boys had some big shakeups last week. Tatnall County, the Warriors, they get into the rankings, but they got in after a loss. 3-1. Now, it was against Savannah Arts Academies, ranked number 5. That was last Friday. Tatnall County celebrated getting into the top 10 with a 10-0 win on Tuesday at Brantley County. Friday, Tatnall County will be at Windsor Forest. Number 7, Callaway. They fell a little bit in the top 10. 3-1 loss last Wednesday at home against Central Carroll. 6-2 win versus New Manchester on Friday. Tonight, Callaway at Towers at Adams Stadium. First region match on both the boys and the girls side. Next Tuesday, Callaway will be at McNair. Number 8 in 2A boys, the Walker School. The Wolverines, a rough week. 3-1 loss to 3A number 8 Hebron Christian. 2-1 loss Tuesday at East Paulding. Tomorrow, the Walker School will host Kip Atlanta Collegiate. Number 9, Putnam County. 7-0 win versus Johnson Augusta yesterday. Tomorrow, Putnam County will host Laney. They have not lost this season yet. 4 wins, 2 draws. Number 10, another new one to the top 10 in 2A boys, Sumter County. 4-2 win Friday at Worth County. Don't have the result from Tuesday where they hosted Jeff Davis and the boys' side. Thursday, Sumter County will be at Crisp County. 6-1 on the year for the Panthers. Toombs County fell out of the top 10, 3 straight losses going into Friday where they won 10-0 at Brantley County, but then that double overtime 2-1 loss to Savannah Arts Academy yesterday. Friday, boys and girls, huge rivalry, Toombs County at Vidalia. Couple others in 2A boys, Dodge County, 5-3 win versus Cook on Friday night. Penalty lost at Fitzgerald after a 4-4 overtime finish. Friday, Dodge County will host Berrien County. And then Fellowship Christian, 9-0 win versus Mount Perrin Christian last Thursday. 1-1 draw on Tuesday versus Holy Innocents. Next Tuesday, Fellowship Christian will have an opportunity to earn their way back into the top 10. They will host number 2, Providence Christian. 1A Division II girls, Atlanta Classical Academy. They hosted Elite Scholars Academy yesterday. That score has not been published anywhere. Not sure how that turned out. Number 2 in 1A D2, McIntosh County Academy, the Buccaneers. 4-1 win at Lanier County on Saturday. 2-1 overtime win Monday at Eccles County. 6-0 win Tuesday versus number 10 Trutland. Thursday, McIntosh County Academy at Groves. Number 3, 1A D2 girls, Lincoln County. 6-0 win last week versus Thompson. 7-1 win versus Hepzibah on Friday. 10-0 loss at Aquinas on Tuesday. Friday, Lincoln County at 2A Harlem. Number 4, 1A D2 girls, Lake Oconee Academy. 5-0 loss yesterday at Tatnall Square Academy in Macon. Thursday, Lake Oconee at 1A D1, number 2, Commerce. That's a really intriguing game on Thursday night. Number 5, 1A D2 girls, Towns County. They're just getting a number of players back from basketball. This is a team that is highly respected. They're in the top 5, but they have not won this season. They tried to kind of backload the schedule a little bit. 3-2 loss at Banks County last Thursday. 3-3 draw Tuesday versus Franklin County. Friday, Towns County will host Walhalla of South Carolina. Number 6, Georgia Military College, the Bulldogs. They have not won either this year. 2-2 draw Friday versus Harlem. 3-0 loss Monday versus 5A Warner Robins, who's 6-0-1 on the year. Next Friday, GMC at number 3, Lincoln County. Number 7, new to the top 10, Johnson County. Friday, 1-0 winners at Trutland. 7-3 win Tuesday versus Montgomery County. This Friday, they are at Wheeler County. Number 8, Portal, the Panthers, 4-1 win versus Montgomery County last week. This Friday, they are at number 2 McIntosh County Academy. Number 9, 1A D2 girls, Atkinson County, 8-0 win at Eccles County on Friday, 1-0 win Tuesday at home against Lanier County. Thursday, they are at Georgia Christian School. And then number 10, Troutland, the Vikings, 1-0 loss at home versus Johnson County on Friday, 6-0 loss Tuesday at number 2 McIntosh County Academy. Friday, they try to bounce back at Montgomery County. And keep an eye on Aquinas, the Fighting Irish, 10-0 winners versus number 3 Lincoln County Tuesday. Kind of a late start to the season for the Fighting Irish. This was a team that was ranked before. They've fallen out of the state rankings. Not really many games played at all. Keep an eye on them the rest of the way. 1A D2 boys, Lake Oconee Academy is number 1, but Tuesday they lost on the road at Tatnall Square Academy. Try to bounce back Thursday at Commerce. Number 2, GMC, 3-0 win versus Harlem on Friday night, 3A ranked. 5-0 win at Warner Robins on Tuesday. GMC Saturday hosting Upson Lee. That's a game at Trinity Christian in a showcase. Atkinson County, number 3. 5 straight wins after 4 straight losses to start the season. 2-0 win Friday at Eccles. 2-0 win Tuesday at Lanier County. They'll face Lanier County again, this time on the road, next Tuesday. Christian Heritage, 1A D2, number 4 on the boys' side. 1-0 loss versus 3A number 6 Coahulla Creek on Thursday. Scoreless draw yesterday, hosting Cedartown. Thursday, Christian Heritage will host the Fuji's Academy. Number 5, Lincoln County, 3-1 losers on last Wednesday to Thompson. 5-4 winners against Hepzibah on Friday. And their result at Aquinas on Tuesday has not been posted. Number 6, Dooley County, the Bobcats, 4-2 win at home versus Macon County on Friday. 5-2 loss Saturday versus Bleckley County. 7-3 loss Tuesday at Chattahoochee County. Friday, Dooley County hosting Hawkinsville. Portal on the boys' side, they're ranked number 7. They have not lost, they have not drawn. 12-5 win versus Montgomery County on Friday. 9-0 win Tuesday at Wheeler County. Friday, Portal at McIntosh County Academy. Number 8, another newcomer to the top 10, Mount Zion of Carrollton. The Eagles maybe won't be there next week. 7-2 loss Tuesday at Rockmart after they get ranked. Thursday, they'll try to bounce back at Haralson County. Number 9, Macon County, 4-2 loss at number 6 Dooley County on Friday. 3-1 win versus Crawford County on Tuesday. Friday, Macon County hosting Chattahoochee County. And then number 10, another newcomer to the top 10, Eccles County. Friday, 2-0 loss versus number 3 Atkinson County. The Monday result for Eccles hosting McIntosh County Academy not posted. Thursday, the Wildcats are at 1A D1, number 8, Bacon County. And Aquinas on the boys' side as well, Fighting Irish. They were ranked earlier. They lost on Saturday 3-0 at the Westminster Schools of Augusta, and their result with Lincoln County has not been posted as of yet. 1AD1, East Lawrence on the girls' side, number 1, 8-0-0, 7-0 win at Dublin on Tuesday. Friday, they're at number 8, Swainsboro. Number 2, Commerce, 11-1 win versus Elbert County on Tuesday. 6 goals for Ivy Tolbert in that one. 23 for the year, 192 in about 2.5 seasons per Max Preps. Insanity. Thursday, Commerce hosting Lake Oconee Academy. A big, big game on Thursday night. Whitfield Academy, 7-0 loss at Lovett on Thursday. 3-2 overtime win at Mount Pisgah on this Tuesday. And they're not back in action until the 14th of March when they host 2A number 3 Fellowship Christian. Scriven County, the Gamecocks, no losses, no draws. 1-0 win at Bryan County on Tuesday. 6 straight shutouts for Scriven County. Friday, they are hosting Statesboro. Bleckley County, 8-1-1 on the year. 6 straight wins. 9-0 win at Dooley County Saturday. 1-0 at home against Swainsboro Monday. 1-0 at home against Northside Warner Robins on Tuesday. Friday, they'll try to keep the good times rolling at Jefferson County. Number 6, Paideia, the Pythons, 8-2 winners at Mount Pisgah on Saturday, 4-3 win at Decatur on Monday, And Paideia on the girls' side Thursday next week, hosting Kings Ridge Christian. Mount Vernon's ranked number 7, 3-1 on the year. Don't have any recent results for them. Number 8, Swainsboro, 1-0 loss at number 6, Bleckley County, or number 5 now. That was on Monday. 3-1 win Tuesday at Jefferson County. Friday, Swainsboro hosting number 1, East Lawrence, 1A D1 girls. Big game on Friday night. Tallulah Falls, 2-0 loss at home against the Rabun Gap Nakuchi School. That was last Thursday. The Indians are next up at Rabun County on March 7th. Tallulah Falls, number 9, 1A D1 girls. Number 10, new to the top 10, Lamar County, 10-0 win at home versus Jones County on Tuesday of this week. And they're back in action not this Friday, but next Friday, Lamar County will host Temple. 1A D1 boys, Paideia's number 1. They haven't lost. 4 wins, 4 draws. 3 straight wins, though. 6-1 win at Mount Pisgah. That was Saturday afternoon. 3-0 win at Decatur. That was Monday night. Next Tuesday, it's Paideia at Pebblebrook. Number 2, 1A D1 boys, Tallulah Falls. 10-0 win at Riverside Military Academy on Thursday. Next at Rabun County on March 7th. Atlanta International, they fell to number 3 in 1A D1 boys. 10-0 winners at home against Westlake on Friday. Thursday, they are hosting 4A number 5, Druid Hills. Whitfield Academy, 5-1 loss at Lovett last night. 6-0 win versus Mount Pisgah Tuesday. And Thursday, Whitfield Academy will host Pebblebrook. Bleckley County, 5-2 win at Dooley County on Saturday afternoon. 3-0 win versus Swainsboro on Monday. 2-1 loss versus Northside Warner Robins on Tuesday. Bleckley County, 7-3 on the year. They are at Jefferson County Friday night. Mount Vernon ranked number 6, 1A D1 boys. Also no recent results. Number 7, the Dalton Academy. Rough week for them. 3-0 loss at Rome on Saturday. 2-0 loss versus Coahulla Creek Tuesday. 3A number 4 Coahulla Creek, by the way. Next Tuesday, Dalton Academy at 1A D2 number 4 Christian Heritage. New to the top 10, number 8 Bacon County. The Raiders 7-1. They lost the opener against Richmond Hill. They've won 7 straight. 2-1 win Monday at Bullock Academy. Thursday, Bacon County hosting Eccles County. Number 9, Prince Avenue Christian. 4 straight losses for the Wolverines. 3-0 overtime loss Thursday at Social Circle. 2-1 loss versus Oglethorpe County Tuesday night. And number 10, mentioned Social Circle, they get into the top 10 for the first time. 3-0 overtime win versus Prince Avenue last Thursday. 4-1 win Tuesday versus Jasper County. Friday, Social Circle at Oglethorpe County. That's your top 10s. That's some teams to watch. You want some more detail? You want Dalton area stuff? Follow Monday Night Football on Facebook and their show on WDNN. New episodes every Monday night during the season on YouTube at WDNN at 8 p.m. Big shout-out to the Gwinnett Daily Post for their great coverage of local high school soccer. And also big shout-out to Blitz Georgia. Make sure you're following them for all the latest from Northeast Georgia. Not just in soccer, but all high school sports. They're on Twitter, BlitzSportsGA, and at BlitzSportsGA.com. I've got a list of active Georgia high school soccer accounts on Twitter. You can follow that as well, at Longshoe. If I'm missing your school, follow me. I'll get you added to that list. If you've got news to publicize, you've got updated results, you've got more detail on recent results, send it my way. You can find me on any social media platform at Longshoe. Coming up next on the show, John Nelson has this week's in-session interviews. 2 coaches who lead teams with perfect 9-0-0 records so far in 2023. You'll hear from Matt Roth, boys head coach of the 6A number 7 ranked Veterans Warhawks, and you'll hear from Nathan Dooley, the girls head coach of the 4A number 5 ranked Perry Panthers. That's coming up next. Soccer is in session, presented by Kaiser Permanente.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line? If you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the GHSA.
Welcome back to Soccer is in Session. It is now time to take the tour of the state and catch up with coaches and find out what is going on with hot starts as they get into region play, as Season 1 gets them ready for Season 2 and hopefully gets them ready for Season 3, which means the postseason. First stop this week is Perry. We catch up with the girls coach with the Perry Panthers, Nathan Dooley. Coach, thanks hanging out with us. Thanks for hanging out with us here and going in session.
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity. Looking forward to it.
All right, so you're off to pretty much a hot start so far there in Middle Georgia. If I had told you that in your non-region play that you would have gotten off to the start that you have, what would you have told me?
I would have told you I'm not completely surprised because I knew what kind of team we had, but I knew it would be a difficult road playing a lot of schools that are a couple of classifications above us. So I'm really proud and excited of us getting through undefeated in that tough non-region schedule.
Was it difficult to schedule the games probably closer to you geographically because of the pedigree that you've established, or did you want to do the road trips and getting everybody ready for possible, Season 3 activities? How did you go about this non-region schedule?
Well, luckily for us, a couple of the other schools that are close in our area are quality opponents. So it's not difficult to schedule some of those games, knowing that we are going to get some good games out of it, some good competition out of it. In the ideal world, yes, would it be great to travel and play some of those other schools, maybe around the Atlanta area and stuff like that. It would, unfortunately, in the public high school world. And in my case, I'm coaching both the boys and the girls teams at the same time. And I am the only bus driver for our school. So that makes things a little bit more complicated.
When you're there in Region 2 and Quad A, what is it like for you to have to juggle all three of those hats? I mean, your non-region goes TIFT before everything turns to February 1st. You had Ace, it was a shutout. Veterans, a shutout. You have another one where it's only given up one goal. So your defense has been pretty stout. You've had a couple of 10-0s with Westside Macon and Howard, 1-0 against Hoco. What's it like for you to have to do all of this organization and be the bus driver and wear all of these different hats?
It's you have to be really good at scheduling, that's for sure. And time management and everything. That can be the part. That's probably the things behind the scene, the unseen parts. Those are probably the toughest. But there goes the bells again.
No worries. That's why we pulled you out of your lunch assignments, and the bells weren't that bad. It's perfectly cool. The fact that you've scored 49 and only given up one, and there are a couple of zeros after the wins so far this season. What have you learned about yourself in this schedule with this undefeated run to start your year?
Well, I've learned that we love to play. I took over the girls, just kind of give you a little background. I've been the boys coach here at Perry High School for 12 seasons, and I took over the girls 3 seasons ago. By kind of some unfortunate circumstances, and they kind of fell into my lap a little bit. And we've gone undefeated in region play the past 2 seasons, back-to-back region champs, first time in school history. This year, we're undefeated, 9-0. And each year, the biggest thing that I changed when I took over for them is I love to play an attacking style of soccer. And so that's what we've been doing. And luckily, I've had the girls and the athletes that have bought into our system. And we're, once again, just throwing that attack out there and having some success.
What's it been like to see the players embrace what you want to do out there on the pitch? Because I mean, sometimes it does take a little while for adjustments to happen and everything to get to full song. What's it been like to see them embrace what you want to do out there?
That's probably the best feeling a coach can have, is when you come in and you work with a group and you see all your hard work and preparation and all that put into practice, into play in the game as they execute. And that's one thing I can say, that with these girls, they have done well at executing our game plan and playing hard.
What's it been like to see the sport grow in Middle Georgia to where it is? I know that you'd like to probably see it grow more, but what's it been like to see it grow and evolve to where it is right now, where you do have the competitions that you have?
Oh, it's been tremendous. It's been amazing to watch over just the last 10 to 15 years how much it's grown here in Middle Georgia and in the state as well. I mean, our club program here in Middle Georgia has grown recently. They're doing well and competing at high levels. Our high schools have just grown. The sport's grown. It's been just amazing to see.
Time to brag on your squad a little bit. What's for those who haven't had the chance to watch your team play this year, who have been some of the standouts that have gotten you to this hot start?
I would say I know I've talked a lot. We've talked a lot about the goal scored and all that, and I've said I play an attacking style, but that's easy to do when you have a defense that's been as solid as our defense has been. So I would have to say our captain, and she's a junior, Fraser Napick. She has been starting since a freshman. She's been back-to-back region defensive player of the year. She's on her way to a three-peat of that this season. So she anchors our back line and allows us to send those numbers forward and attack. In the attack, it's been our leading goal scorer over the past three seasons, Sadie Server. She's also a junior. She's got 11 goals right now on the season. She's been playing solid. We've had a freshman, Madeline Foster, that's come in and scored 8 goals for us this season. So that's been a pleasant surprise and compliment to the girls that we knew were returning this year. I mean, that I could go up and down the field and brag on them all. They are truly a hardworking group of young ladies, and they strive for excellence every time we step out on the field.
Do you feel like you have a bullseye on your chest every single time you go out, knowing that somebody's going to want to knock you off and add a straight number to the left side of the dash?
You do. I do. And it's especially tough when you play when we play everyone in the region twice, because typically second time we play, they may change up tactics or go ultra defensive, which can kind of make things a little bit frustrating sometimes. But you definitely do feel that way, that like, especially like I said, being undefeated in region the past 3 seasons, we know everybody's wanting to knock us off that. And but that also prepares us. We know regardless of our record, regardless of the other team's record, when you step out on the field, you have to perform. And so that's what we set our minds to every match.
And you mentioned having to play everybody twice. Coming up on Friday, it's a match at Spalding is the next one there in region. I know that you probably haven't had a whole lot of time to go into study hall for Spalding. What kind of match are you expecting as you try to chase after your 10th win of the year?
Spalding has always been a quality opponent. Obviously, being in Griffin, they're a lot closer to Atlanta. Quality club programs, they'll have club players on the field. So we know that they're going to give us a quality game. But at this point, that we're going to play our game, and we believe that our game's going to win out and be better than theirs at this point.
Nathan Dooley, the girls and the boys head coach for the Perry Panthers, talking to us about his girls' side. Undefeated so far, region matchup coming up against Spalding on the weekend. Coach, thanks for hanging out with us and going in session. Good luck this weekend. We'll keep an eye on you the rest of the way.
All right. Thank you very much.
And the in-session interviews continue in Middle Georgia. Next stop is Kathleen, where we catch up with the head soccer coach on the boys' side for the Veterans Warhawks, Matt Roth. Matt, thanks for coming on and being a part of in-session.
Hey, my pleasure. I'm happy to be here and talk about our school a little bit.
All right. When you look at what you've been able to do so far this season coming out of the blocks, I mean, the numbers are pretty staggering. Have you sat there and looked at it and you're going, man, I mean, we're unbeaten out of the blocks, but the fact that your defense has been as stout as it's been, you're putting up the offensive numbers that you are. I mean, that's been a fantastic start for you coming out of the blocks. 9-0, 50 goals scored and only 3 allowed. Great start for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you asked me if I was going to expect that coming out of the season, I can't say that I would, but we did graduate a lot of seniors, and, every year is a change and transition for what to expect. And of course, you do look at the numbers a little bit, and, you don't want to get hung up on it too much. Welcome to public school.
There you go.
Thompson, please report to the attendance office for dismissal. Kaylee Thompson to the attendance office for dismissal.
You aren't kidding. Public school. So
Yep.
Go for
always,
it.
Always busy, right?
Yep.
So I knew our defense was going to be solid. I'm pretty sure this is the first time since I've been here, since the school opened, that we've had all 4 defenders return, which I knew was going to be good for us. And the other side of that, we had a lot of players step up and be the goal scorers for us. Last year, we had a leading scorer who had 27 goals. This year, with our 50 goals, we don't have any single player in double digits yet. So it's coming from everywhere. All these players are stepping up. We have no downshift when it comes to substitutions, which is something we're really enjoying. And, it has been our greatest opening run to a season so far, and just looking to see how far we can take it.
Yeah, I mean, you had a couple of zeros coming out of the blocks. You beat Northside Columbus, you beat Atco at home, you beat Ace at home. Then you had the tough one with Perry, which I can kind of understand being an area rival, that kind of a thing. Mary Persons, you give up a goal there, you put up a big number there as well. Go to Zebulon, have a clean sheet. Northside a clean sheet. Houston County, once again, another one of those rivals there, coming off of Georgia 247. Then the recent win over Tift County. I mean, it's when you look at how things have grown there in Middle Georgia, what's it been like to see the sport continue to advance and be as competitive as it is, especially there in Houston County, where even looking at your schedule this season, you've had some tough opponents.
Yeah, we have. Going back to those rivalry teams, Perry and Houston County, those kids, and this kind of builds on the growth of soccer. Those kids play all year round together with our local club, Legion FC. They've done a great job of developing players and continuing to grow the sport around here. It's become a destination club for a lot of area players coming from the Dublin area and surrounding areas. So it's grown, and that's helped us to promote soccer. It's helped us to develop players at a high level, and they compete, and they know that when we get outside of Middle Georgia, especially headed north, where the competition is going to really become stout. We're just trying to do our best to keep up with those guys in Atlanta and make people aware that we are South Georgia, but we are not unknown when it comes to soccer.
When it comes to finding your opponents, is it easy? Is it like it is in football, meaning FOOTBALL?
Mm-hmm.
Is it, okay, we're going to line up in our area rivals. We know we're going to play them. Or how difficult is it to fill these schedules in with your non-region opponents, knowing what your region is? What's it like scheduling from a soccer perspective, knowing what it's like on a football perspective there in Central Georgia?
Yeah, I do. I try to keep some local regional competition games alive, because like I said, those kids know each other. They grow up playing together and they want to compete against each other. But sometimes it's kind of a crapshoot, really. You try to find areas where the competition is going to be good, and the goal always is to first and foremost is to win region, and then after that you're trying to prepare yourself for the playoffs and play those schools, because you're going to see those Atlanta schools, those Columbus schools in the playoffs. So you try to get them on the schedule. Last couple of years we've played Stars Mill, we've played Locust Grove, we've played McIntosh, and you try to keep those in rotation as much as you can, and just doing the best you can. Pike County had a great season last year, and we knew we wanted to try and get them as a more local team. So you just kind of play out what your team's going to be capable of, what your expectations are, and then just see where the chips fall, and hopefully it pays off.
So what is the expectation for you now when it comes to a yearly basis down there at Veterans? What are you expecting of your club now?
Well, like I said, I mean, every year our number one goal and number one purpose is to win region. And we've done that pretty consistently here. We are in a new region this year. It's our first year playing those schools: Lee County, Tift County, Thomas County Central. Hoco's in our region for the first time since we've been a school. So that's exciting, and it adds some mystery because you don't know what to expect. You're seeing some players for the first time, some teams for the first time. So that brings some things into question, and you have to prepare a little bit more and get the players' minds ready to go to different places, play on different fields. So that's one thing. But, we just really, I mean, I know it's cliche, but when you get into the playoffs, you just try and look at it as one game at a time and see where the regions line up and you try and do your research and try and figure it out and try and do the best you can to advance. And sometimes, last year we made it to the Elite Eight and lost to the eventual state champion. And I don't think any kid would tell you that they regretted that experience. Playing a team like Johnson, they were amazing. I mean, they were just unbelievable. I mean, and even the kids afterwards were just, they were blown away by how talented they were. And I think that has kind of driven us this year, is to see that kind of play and that kind of talent, and rather than kind of be satisfied with being a local, a region competition, to looking to play. We want to do that. We want to play like that. We want to be like that. We want to be competitive like that. And I think that's kind of driven a lot of the players, especially the returning seniors, knowing what to expect, getting them, at that level and seeing that level of soccer and wanting to compete at that level. And I think that's kind of where we're finding our passion this year.
Next step for you in that is a game against Thomas County Central. It is a home game for you in region this Friday. I don't know how much film study you've gotten a chance to do and how much you've learned about Thomas County Central after the match with Tift, but what has study hall been like, and what are you expecting in this game against Thomas County Central there in 1-6A?
I know they're going to be solid. I've known Tony Boyles for quite a while. I know that he's going to have a solid plan. He keeps a very strict and organized team, very disciplined. So regardless of whatever or however our talents may match up, I know they're going to be in for a fight. They won their region last year, so their expectations are no different from ours. They've fought in some tough games here this season so far, and I got a feeling that they're going to come ready and know that this might be a turning point for both of us.
Matt Roth, the head coach of the Veterans Warhawks on the boys' side. Great start, undefeated out of the blocks. Region game coming up this weekend, this Friday against Thomas County Central. Coach, thanks for hanging out with us and going in session, breaking down what soccer is like right now in the high school ranks there in Middle Georgia. We'll be keeping an eye on you there in 6A. Thanks for hanging out.
My pleasure.
Soccer's in session continues after this, brought to us by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente, thrive. Jason comes back after the break with more about soccer here in the high school ranks in the state of Georgia.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Georgia. This message presented by the GHSA and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to Soccer is in Session, presented by Kaiser Permanente. I'm Jason Longshore. Thank you so much to Matt and Nathan and John for taking the time to chat for this edition of the show. keep an eye on those two schools, Veterans and Perry, both 9-0 this season in their respective classifications. Region play getting underway. It's just an awesome time in Georgia high school soccer right now. So many teams that are playing well, surprises, some of the expected blue bloods are running roughshod. Just great storylines all over the state. We're going to try our best to bring you as many different ones as we can every week on Soccer is in Session. Another element of the show is catching up with players who have committed to play at the next level in college, or the local colleges who are making moves as they prepare for the fall, where the season counts for them. A lot of the local schools are playing games now in the spring. There's, depending on the level, a certain amount of practice sessions you can have, a certain amount of games. I mean, they don't count for anything except for experience, except for building, and except for getting ready for the fall season. In the fall, we'll deep dive into all of the soccer programs all over the state of Georgia at the college level, at every level, going from D1 all the way down to junior college to NAIA. Every bit of it we will have on Soccer is in Session. Players who have committed over the past week, and if I don't catch your commitment and you'd love for it to be highlighted here on the show, please send it my way. My social media is at Longshoe. You can find my email there too. It's not hard to track me down. Please let me know. I'd love to shout you out if you're going on to play at the next level. Peachtree Ridge, Brody Schroeder has committed to play in college at Southern Wesleyan University. Brody plays club at Atlanta Fire as well. Another one from Peachtree Ridge, Stefan Shongo, has committed to play at Life University. He plays for UFA on the club side. Avery Paulson of Fellowship Christian announced her commitment to Liberty University for 2024. She plays her club ball at GSA. Alpharetta High School's Lorenzo Avalos has committed to Emory University. He plays for UFA and club. Peyton Mount of Mill Creek and Atlanta Fire has committed to Doane University. And Jake Hall of Tallulah Falls High School and the Atlanta Fire Youth Club has committed to play at Randolph-Macon. Valdosta State announced that they have signed forward Kaylee Kearns from Fort Mill, South Carolina. She'll join the team in 2023. And the Blazers also announced that they'll be hosting their annual alumni game on April 22nd at 1 p.m. It's awesome to see the colleges doing the alumni games. Berry College has one coming up on the women's side as well. Love to see the high schools doing that too. Really cool ways to stay connected with your programs. Georgia Southern announced a couple of men's soccer incoming transfers this week. Kevin Pierre will join the Eagles from Lander University, and Logan Phipps joins from Yavapai College. Georgia State announced the signing of Paula Bosahil from Barcelona, Spain. She will join the Panthers roster for 2023 and add to the Spanish and directly the Barcelona connections in that team. It's been a lot of fun to see Ed Joyce's recruiting classes come together and the style of play come together as well. Really looking forward to seeing the Panthers in 23. Former Mercer University star, McDonough native, Atlanta United Academy product, and also played for the Georgia Revolution in the NPSL. All the connections to all the different local programs. Ousmane Jabang has signed with Club de Foot Montreal in Major League Soccer today. He was drafted in the third round of the MLS Super Draft in December. Really impressive training camp for him, and he signs a first-team contract for 1 year with options for 3 following years. Big congrats to Ousmane and all the different coaches and clubs who have played a role in his development. Great fit for where Montreal is going under Hernan Losada. I think he'll fit right in with that group. Big time congrats to Ousmane. Upcoming games of importance on the SDH network. Friday night, Riverwood hosting Lakeside DeKalb in our SDH games of the week. And then Tuesday, it's just one game. Campbell will host Osborne in boys action in the SDH game of the week. Those teams have met already this season. Huge rivalry. Very, very cool. I'm looking forward to this. The JV will play. It's a 2-leg series the way they do this. Aggregate scoring. There's a trophy for the winning team at the end. Should be a good crowd for the JV game first. Osborne won the first one 2-1. Campbell's up 2-1 on the varsity side. It should be a blast. I'm really looking forward to seeing this Tuesday night. I'll have the boys varsity game for you at 7:30 on the Soccer Down Here network, the SDH app, soccerdownhere.net as well. You can listen there. You can always go back and listen after too. Make sure you're following us on social media at Soccer Down Here, wherever you get your social media delivered to you. Make sure you're following me at Longshoe. And once again, if you have news, if you have story ideas, if you have players and teams to follow, give me a heads up. Get the conversation going on the social media apps. I'm loving connecting with whether it's coaches around the state, whether it's parents of players around the state, just fans of teams from around the state, and hearing about all of these programs and all the great things going on in soccer in the state of Georgia. Soccer is always in session around here, and it is definitely in session thanks to Kaiser Permanente. Thank you to our presenting sponsor for helping us do what we do in covering soccer at every single level in the state of Georgia. Thanks for hanging out with me for another edition. Good luck to everybody, as there are some massive games going on all over the state, even tonight as we speak, as you listen to this. Big games happening. Enjoy them. We'll be back next week with more Soccer is in Session.